Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Abramian, and today I'll be explaining My Papa's Waltz by Theodore Rothke. A little background on Theodore. He was born in Saginaw, Michigan, May 25th, 1908, which is a while ago. So, and he was born into a family of him, his mother, and his father, and his uncle was nearby, lived in the area. His father was a German immigrant who owned and ran a 25-acre greenhouse. That was their major source of income for the family. And sadly, when he was 14, his father died of cancer, and his uncle committed suicide, leaving him alone as the head of the household with his mother. And his mother ran the finances in the house from what his father left behind. And then shortly after, he attended the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. There, his awareness evolved at Michigan into a decision to pursue teaching and choose poetry as his career. He earned his BA and MA from the University of Michigan as well in poetry. So, analyzing the poem. So, in the title, the word waltz is used to give the poem a lighthearted feel, but as we read on, it seems to become darker and a little more twisted. So in the first stanza starts with the father so drunk that just the smell of his breath makes the speaker dizzy. This suggests that the father isn't just having a drink or two; he's seriously drunk, and the speaker is unsettled or even scared of him. And so did a little bit of external research. Lit Chart describes the last stanza. Um, Last stanza. Most tellingly, the speaker describes how the father beat time on his head. So the phrase has a couple of meanings, as they said. The phrase has two meanings. On one hand, the father is just counting the beats of the waltz to keep track of the dance, or the other thing that they said was, on the other hand, beat can imply violence or maybe even abuse because of his intoxication. So those are two different um, variations of meanings that we could see like just on the surface. Okay, and the theme, um, what I kind of put together was My Papa's Waltz deals with themes of family, relationships, uh, confliction, fear, and love. They're all kind of mixed in there, but the ones that we can really only see on the surface level, is the fear and abuse. But there are little words here and there that kind of imply love and kind of dependency on like father son, like in a father son relationship. Okay, and moving on to the next slide. Poetic devices. So some metaphors and similes I found was waltz, like I explained in the first slide. The word is used to give off a playful, innocent tone of the poem to keep the reader from initially thinking there was pain involved. And, and that's just one of the metaphors that I found. And then another one, in the first stanza, the whiskey on your breath could make a small boy dizzy. And this is another just hidden meaning, that this line kicks off the poem with the severity of the narrator's father's alcoholic state, which can be perceived as a negative connotation. In most cases, yes. Um, so he's just starting this off with a negative fact about his father in this specific poem, and then where we can see a little bit more of the abuse. Normally, when you dance, you hold each other's hands. Instead, his father is holding his wrist, assuming in a violent manner. And then my explanation to that was when a child is held by their wrist, it normally means it is by force and not by choice. It also could be his father is not handling him with care due to the large amount of alcohol that was consumed. And that's a couple of points that I broke down there. Uh, so connecting the poetic devices to the theme. So in the metaphor section, Waltz and the hand held to my wrist shows the conflict and fear of the narrator that he's experiencing due to the intoxication of his father on what it seems to be a normal evening during his childhood. And for the simile, um, I used the line in the last line. Then waltz me off the bed, still clinging onto his shirt, demonstrates how there was still a positive connection between the father and the son despite the abuse and roughhousing delivered by the intoxicated father. And that kind of mends our opinion about the father because still at the end of the day he handled handled him with care and took him to his room, tucked him in for bed after what maybe he thought was a fun night, but not knowingly abusing him. So yeah, you get it. Sorry. And I have my works cited here, and that's it. Thank you.